Good morning, everyone. Thank you for watching this tutorial on how to access the 2023 Virtual Fall Tech Platform. My name is April Ellickson, and I am the Associate Director for IKECA. So today I'm going to just walk you through a couple minutes of how to access the platform, all your sessions and things you need to know before logging on when the event starts on Thursday, October 12th. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, first things first, you will receive an email invitation that looks like this. It will come from Excel Events, and it will say like a Virtual Fall Tech 2023. If you don't have that by the end of the day on Monday, October 9th, then please check your junk mail to make sure it didn't go in there. Just a few pointers in the beginning of this email, which I will reiterate during this tutorial. First things first and foremost, you must be logged on using Google Chrome. There's not another web browser that is equally as compatible. You won't be able to see all of the features that the 2023 Virtual Fall Tech will have to offer through the Excel Events platform. So please make sure that you use Google Chrome. If you don't have it, go ahead and pause this video and download it now. And so that way you are good to go for Thursday. Outside of that, once you get this email invitation, you'll kind of scroll down to see this button called Join Event. If you have attended one of our virtual events in the past, this is going to be different. The platform has kind of made some updates and changes. So the good news is that you don't have to worry about your password or anything like that. What you'll do is you'll just hit this Join Event button, and you will be taken right to the Virtual Fall Tech lobby. Now, I will say if you, it may direct you to a page where it asks you to create a password. You can do that if you'd like, or you can just exit out of that. Just make sure that you, every day when you go to log in, you just keep using that same button it's called a magic link to join the event. So if you choose not to use a password, create a password, that's fine. Just don't lose that initial welcome email. Alrighty, so this is the platform. Obviously, it will be more populated in the next couple of days as we get things kicked off. But the main thing that you should know is this is the main lobby. So whenever a session is over or you want to get back to the beginning, all you need to know to make sure is you go home. This is the lobby. This is where you can access everything on the platform. Before we get into that, I will kind of walk you through up here. So if you wanted to schedule a one-on-one meeting with someone, you can do so via this little calendar tab. This is where you'll see all chats and direct messages. So make sure you check that out. And this is where you'll receive notifications. Make sure you frequently check this little bell here because we will have surveys and other announcements that will get pushed out through the 2-day Virtual Fall Tech Seminar. So make sure you constantly are checking this. And then here's where you can update your profile. For some reason, my picture isn't showing, but when you click into here, you can hit Edit My Profile. And you can put in pictures or anything about yourself that you would like to add, interests and things like that to kind of connect you with other attendees. What it will look like from the people, so you can see other people with their profiles and things like that, and you can schedule a meeting or send a direct message. What you'll do is you'll go down here to the People tab, and you'll be able to see everybody that is logged on for the 2-day event. And so this kind of works similar to, I would say, Facebook or other social media platforms. So when you see someone that you know or that you want to connect with, this button here is kind of like sending a friend request. This is what you would hit if you wanted to schedule that meeting, and this is sending that direct message here. And then if you click into the individual profiles, you'll be able to see more information about that particular person if they chose to provide more detailed information. So as I said, let's go home. Okay, so you log on Thursday morning on October 12th, and you want to check out what's going on. So over here to the right, you will see a lobby chat. This is just where you can say good morning, share ideas, things like that. This is where everybody will see, but this is just the main chat. over here. So feel free to post anything you'd like in this column here. Over here, this is a lobby feed. So what we will do as IKECA staff is we will post some announcements here, but again, you'll have your announcements here and your more detailed notifications that will pop up here. The scavenger hunt. So this is a little different if you've joined us before for virtual events. So in the past, it used to be just the expo hall. Well, what we've done this time is we have created 2 separate challenges. So you get points for every time you attend a session for a certain amount of time and interact within that session. And the same thing for the expo hall. As people start completing the challenges, you'll be able to see them on the leaderboard here. What we will also be doing in addition, we will be pushing out surveys for each session during the virtual Fall Tech seminar. You will get that notification here, and it may pop up within your session once it's ended. If you take the survey, you will receive 20 points for every survey you complete. Now, that is going to be managed by IKECA staff and won't come up here. But once we go ahead and total everything before closing remarks on Friday the 13th, we will be able to add in those scores for everybody who has completed a survey. So please make sure you provide our feedback. It's super important for us for future events. All right, so we want to figure out what sessions are happening and what's going on. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the agenda tab. Now, I will say on my screen, you will see all times listed in Eastern Standard Time. But if you are on the West Coast or the Midwest or anything like that, this will automatically populate to your time zone. What we're doing this time around, we don't have specific tracks, so everything is kind of happening all at once. So one session right after the other. But what I will note is on Thursday, we have 3 different roundtables happening at the same time. We want to make sure that not all roundtables are overly populated, so that way people can have more of an open discussion. So we suggest just picking one of these and attending as such. Let's share the love. Let's all talk about different safety topics throughout. So you'll just pick which one you want to go into. All right, so when it comes time for the session to start, instead of this bookmark button, it'll say join the studio button or join button. You'll just click into that and then you'll be within the session there. Pretty easy. Sponsors. So here are all of our great sponsors. Thank you to everyone for taking the time to sponsor our event. The info desk. This button is great because what it'll show you is how to contact all of us at IKECA for the staff team. Renee, Gina, and Lisa will be good for if we're in the middle of session and you're troubleshooting. Make sure you call them. They will be on standby to assist you while I am doing other things, but you can always call me as well. And here's a few FAQs. So as I said, Google Chrome, best browser for Excel events. And then this is an important one that I want to touch on now. How will I earn CEUs? So for every session that you go into, we are able to track if you've attended that session by each individual attendee. Also, the length of time that you've spent in each session. So if you just clicked into the session and bounced right back out, you're not going to get credit for that. You'll get a CEU if you stay for the entire session and for as many sessions as you attend. If you've been in person in the past couple of years at our events, we have a CEU tracking form. This is very much like the same thing, except that it is IKECA staff that's tracking it all. So please make sure that you are attending sessions in order to appropriately you earn your CEUs. More information about the leaderboard challenge and things like that. So that's all here. Make sure you click that. Another thing that's been added this time, if you're unsure, if your desktop is working properly, if you have the correct web browser, things like that, all the way down here at the bottom, you won't see these 2 things, but all the way down here at the bottom is this button called Device Checker. If you want to click that, and you can just kind of go through your firewall, other permissions to make sure that you are set up the best way that you can be to get the full experience of Virtual Fall Tech. I do suggest you doing that as soon as you log into the platform. All right, once again, we will go home. Okay, So scrolling over here to the right are all of our great sponsors once again. And then you're going to have our expo hall over here. Here is, if you go into any of our expo or exhibitor booths here virtually, you'll be able to see their products, interact with them directly, and so on and so forth. So we'll go ahead and click on FlameGuard here, component hardware. Some of them will opt to do an introductory video. You can watch that here. There's a lot of different links so you can download their products. Over here, each exhibitor is going to have their own chat. So you can go in and ask them questions. You can direct message them. You can go into the Q&A here and ask them a specific question. All the company details are here. You'll be able to see everybody that's quote unquote staffing the booth. And if anybody is doing a show special or anything like that, you will find that on the offer tab here. All right, so when you are going into a session, what I'm going to show you is something from the speaker view, but the attendee view will be somewhat similar. Okay, so you won't see it like this, but what you will see as the attendee is this screen with the presenter and a little kind of like bubble over here with their presentation in the main part. You won't see this side here, but what you will see is this side over here. So again, every session has its own chat. The speaker reserves the right to, ask questions in the chat, but it's really important that you all interact in here. Just say hi, emphasize something like that. You will not be heard or seen as an attendee in main sessions. In our roundtable sessions, you will, but for every individual session, you won't be on camera and you won't be on your mic. But you can chat within the session. If a speaker has a poll that will pop up to you, just kind of like it would in Zoom. But if you have specific questions, I do encourage you all to use this Q&A feature because that will be a direct question and we won't have to kind of weed through the chat, if you will, for your questions. So if you want to make sure your question's answered, I do strongly suggest that you enter that in the Q&A section over here. Now, we do have the ability, if you ask a question, the speaker does have the ability to quote unquote send you backstage. So what that means is you will get kind of a notification that you will be invited to this session here as the speaker. So if you ask a really poignant question, the speaker can say, hey, why don't you come onto the stage with me, so to speak, and then you will be on camera and on microphone that you can kind of pose that question verbally or have a conversation with the speaker to all attendees for them to see and hear. So we'll go back to the lobby here. And that is about it for our tutorial. It's going to be pretty easy to use. Again, just as long as you have that Google Chrome browser, you should not run into any issues, but the IKECA staff team is here to help you. And everyone should be receiving their invitation soon. So you are able to log in, play around. I do suggest that you do that prior to the 12th, just to get your profile set up and make sure that you're understanding how the platform works. And if you have any questions ahead of time, please feel free to reach out to us. And if nothing else, we will see you all in the virtual space on October 12th. Thank you all so much for taking the time to watch this video, and we hope you enjoy Virtual Fall Tech.